Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Weir, and I gotta tell you, I love life. But when I'm not being a husband, a father, a grandfather, an author, or a practicing chiropractor, I'm the host of the television show Loving Life with Dr. Tim Weir. I love to cook. I love to travel. I like to spend time with people who do what they love and love what they do. Join me and Elvis for the next 30 minutes as we help you discover how to love life. You've joined me on a great day of loving life. I have a great guest today for you. His name is David Colgan. He's going to be talking about success in life and what it means for you and me. What a fabulous time. You don't want to miss this segment. We're also going to be talking to Kasey Wright at AR Workshop. We're going to have a blast with her, and you're going to have some insight about some gifts that you can make for Christmas, the holidays, birthdays, and just stay right where you're at, because we're going to be right back.
Just because you're in an accident but didn't ride in one of these doesn't mean that you didn't get injured.
Hello, I'm Dr. Tim Weir, and after 35 years in practice, I can tell you a lot of times an injury doesn't show up for 2 to 3 days after an accident. So if you've been in an accident, don't delay any further. Call my office today.
Raleigh Spine and Injury Chiropractic. Just when you thought nobody cared. Call 790-1332 right now.
Uptone Pictures is a full-service script-to-screen production company which can help you create the proper messaging for any number of applications. With spacious state-of-the-art studio offering green screen, mocap, and practical stages, along with a team of professionals who will make you and your business shine. So what are you waiting for? Call us at 919-649-3587 and schedule your appointment today. It's time we put your imagination into motion.
I have a lot of people come to me all the time asking about success. How do you succeed in life? How do you succeed in business? And my guest with me today is David Colgan. David is known in the mortgage business as actually number one in North Carolina and South Carolina in a large company, and number 12 in the entire nation. David, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
So there's a lot that happens with life and in success. Tell me a little bit about your life. What has transpired as far as your success in business?
Yeah, a great question. So just to give you some context, to give you an idea of kind of my background. So I've done mortgage financing for 15 years. Actually got my license in September of 2001, which was obviously a pivotal moment for our country, pivotal moment for me. But that was when I got licensed, and that was when I started doing the mortgage business.
Okay, but before we go there, because you started out, I mean, you weren't 30 years old when you started.
No. So, okay, so I'll give you a step back just to give you some further background. So, interestingly enough, I started when I was 17 years old. I had just graduated high school and looking for a summer job. I ended up getting a job doing telemarketing for a friend of my dad's who owned a small mortgage company here in Raleigh. Sure. And he needed somebody just simply to make phone calls to folks in the evening time to interrupt their dinner and see if they might be interested in getting a conversation about a mortgage going. So I did that for several months, learned how to get rejected and learned how to kind of go back from that very quickly, which you have to do in that kind of role. And by the time the summer had ended and I was moving into September of 2001, I turned 18. And at that same point, I went and got my loan officer license, wow, clearing the Banking Commission of North Carolina, clearing all their requirements in order to do right. So, entered college simultaneously. I was going to college. I was doing the mortgage business, learning it as I was going through college. So that was just over 15 years ago now. So that's the background. That's the starting point.
Wow. And then so you're number one in North Carolina and South Carolina mm-hmm. with this huge company.
Yeah.
Number 12 in the nation?
Right, yep.
But you didn't get there overnight.
No, no, it was a very long process. So going back to when I started, when I initially started, I was going to college and I was doing this, learning the business kind of on the side. It got to a point where the mortgage business for me became more time consuming, and I also saw a really large ceiling that was available to me if I continued to learn the business and execute it at a high level.
Sure.
And so, I ultimately got to a point where I made the decision I'm going to focus on the business side full time, which is what I did. From there, though, it took a very slow road. So part of it, I attribute to youth. I mean, I was at a point in my life I got married very young. I had kids very young. It was all, a very grown-up thing to do at a very young age for me. But there was a period there where I was focused a lot on spending time with family, spending time with my young kids, and not really spending time completely devoted to working, 80 hours a week. So that lasted a period of time. And just to kind of fast forward a little bit, we find ourselves, I found myself in the housing and mortgage crisis of 2008, which carried on through 2010 and somewhat beyond. And up until that point, so from 2001 to 2008, I had relatively mediocre success. I had a good lifestyle, I earned good income, I worked very hard, but it wasn't as dedicated and as intentional as I am today with my business. And from 2008 to 2010 was a really, really difficult time for everybody in the mortgage industry and the real estate and housing industry as a whole. And that was a really pivotal point in my life and my business looking back. It was a point where I really had to come to grips with, is this a business and is this an industry that I want to really wholeheartedly devote myself to? Or is this something that I need to make a change and simply go to another job, another industry? And there was a point in the middle of 2010 where I decided, when I actually joined the company I'm with now, which is the largest mortgage company in the country, I decided that I was going to go and I was going to give it a go. I was going to devote myself fully to it. I was going to be very intentional and very consistent with the activities that I was going to put in place. And it was a far-reaching change from a mindset perspective as well. It wasn't just on the business side. So at that point in time, when I was younger, I played baseball and basketball and played while I was in high school and even stayed in very good shape after. But for a long period from, after I graduated until really 2010, I'd let my health get out of hand. I wasn't nearly as healthy as I am today. I've spent time on unproductive things that I perceive as unproductive, so I spent a lot of time, TV, video games, things that weren't terribly relevant. So, made the decision that I was going to focus on the business side and very simply put a massive change in place. Now, it was a slow change, but I started making very relevant decisions that I thought would ultimately lead me to where I am now.
So you hit a crisis.
Hit a crisis.
And it made
Absolutely.
Made a difference.
Absolutely had to.
Don't change your channel, because we're going to come back with David Colgan and see where it took him.
I've been in an accident and I don't have insurance. I don't know what to do.
I was in an accident and I don't have insurance. Now what am I going to do?
Hi, this is Dr. Tim Weir, and if you've been in an accident but you don't have health insurance, it's okay. We accept third-party liens. That means we'll wait for the insurance company to pay us. So if you've been in an accident, call us today.
Raleigh Spine and Injury Chiropractic. Just when you thought nobody cared. Call 790-1332 right now.
Uptone Pictures is a full-service script-to-screen production company which can help you create the proper messaging for any number of applications. With spacious state-of-the-art studio offering green screen, mocap, and practical stages, along with a team of professionals who will make you and your business shine. So what are you waiting for? Call us at 919-649-3587 and schedule your appointment today. It's time we put your imagination into motion.
Hey, we're back with David Colgan. We're talking about success and what it means to him and what it can mean to you. David, thanks again for coming and joining me.
Absolutely.
So you hit a critical point.
Yeah.
And it was at that critical point you made some decisions. For years with the show, I've always said life is about choice. Choices you make today determine the future tomorrow. So you made some choices.
Sure.
Okay. And that took you where?
Yeah, so it took me to where I am now, which is a life that is very fulfilled, not without some serious effort in between, but a life that I'm very happy to live, and a life that is full. It's very successful on the business front. It's very successful on the family front. It's very successful, from a friendship perspective. I've I've been able to be a lot more, again, intentional. I keep bringing that word up, but
Right.
it's something that I pay a close attention to, is making sure that every minute of every day I can extract as much value from as possible. And I don't think that you can do that without having some forethought and some plan. But again, taken back, it was all a very slow process where I had to make a single decision and then make another single decision and do that consistently over a long enough period of time. When you look back, you realize just how far you've come. And so that's really looking back, you know, the path that's kind of brought me here.
In my book, Mastering the Art of Success, I talk
Great
about...
book, by the way.
Thank you. I talk about finding mentors. And one of my mentors is from Bob Proctor. And it's not that I talk to Bob every day, but I read, I listen. I listen to tapes and all that. Tapes, that just dated me, but you understand what I'm saying?
No,
so,
tapes I have no idea. But I'm with you.
Your grandmother.
Right, sure.
Who are some of your mentors, and what are some of the things that you do to help take you forward?
Yeah, so I'm a big reader. So you know, going back, I didn't finish college, but I always enjoyed it. I really love learning and I love reading. A couple of the books that I've read this year, just to give you a flavor of some of the things that have had an impact on me this year.
Right.
I reread The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, great book. Ryan Holiday is a guy, I think he lives in Montana. Really neat story, but he wrote 2 books that I've read that are really great. The Ego is the Enemy, which really talks about just keeping your ego in check and all the not only the importance of it, but how to tactfully do it and how to tactically do it so that you're doing it intentionally as well. The Obstacle is a Way is another book that he wrote, which similar kind of concept.
You know, I really believe that inside of us is already the success. It's a matter of just peeling off the unsuccessful things that hold you back.
Sure.
And it's those books, it's those CDs and all those things that help do that.
Yeah.
What's the one attribute that would probably tell people why you are where you're at?
It's absolutely consistency. And the challenge with consistency is that it's not a quick fix. So the challenge with consistency is that you can't just become consistent. It has to happen over time. And time can be your greatest ally, and it can be your greatest enemy with anything, whether it's business, whether it's your personal life. The ability to control time by consistently filling in the things that need to be filled in and doing the things over time that need to be done can take you to great places. And you know, I'm no better or worse than the next person. I promise you I'm not terribly special, but what I am very good at is consistently doing the activities that I believe will take me where I want to be in whatever wheel of life I'm focused on at that point in time, whether it's business or health or personal or whatever it may be.
Right.
So consistency is it, but again, consistency with time is what I perceive as the formula to success.
Consistency with time to me is persistence.
Sure, yeah.
So, if you'd like more information about David and what he does, go to davidcolgan.com. Amazing. Thanks for being with me
Thank
today.
you. Appreciate it.
I talked about Mastering the Art of Success. It's my book that I wrote in 2014 with Les Brown, Mark Victor Hansen, who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul and all those books. If you live in the Raleigh area and would like a copy of this, stop by my office. It's on Falls of the Noose Road. Stop in, and the only thing it's going to cost you is a handshake and a hello. I'd like to give it as a gift to you. Don't change your channel. We'll be right back.
I've been in an accident and I don't have insurance. I don't know what to do.
I was in an accident, and I don't have insurance. Now what am I going to do?
Hi, this is Dr. Tim Weir, and if you've been in an accident, but you don't have health insurance, it's okay. We accept third-party liens. That means we'll wait for the insurance company to pay us. So if you've been in an accident, call us today.
Raleigh Spine and Injury Chiropractic. Just when you thought nobody cared. Call 790-1332 right now.
Hey, have you ever had the idea that you wanted to get somebody a gift, but you go to the big store and you look for stuff and it's all the same? Listen, we got the answer for you. I'm at AR Workshop here in Wakefield, And I'm with Kasey Wright. Kasey, thanks for letting me come.
Absolutely, welcome. Glad
Even
to have you.
after you've heard of all the stuff, you know, you still let me come.
I did let you come.
God bless you. So talk to me a little bit about what you guys do.
So we really wanted to create a boutique environment where you can come in by yourself or with a group of friends, your family, and really learn the process of DIY, doing it yourself, taking an idea for something for your home or, like you said, for a gift, and starting from scratch with raw wood materials or raw canvas materials, and then we guide you through the process, and you go from raw wood to any of the examples that you see here on the shelf. Awesome, they're fully custom. You can add your name, your family members' names. If you want to do it for a friend, you have the option to put your friend's name in. Then we have some standard choices as well, just like the I love winter weather, so a little bit more generic as an option, but what's awesome is when you come in, if we have 30 people in here, they're all going to do the same type of project. So like last night we had plank wood, so everybody had different sizes of plank wood, but when everyone left, every single piece looked unique, different, created 100% by themselves. And what I love is it kind of empowers people to do things they don't normally do. Most women particularly don't go into the garage and grab, you know, a power nailer or a stapler or a screw, like a power screwdriver. So we walk them through it, and they actually can do every piece of it themselves.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. So they get a little scared. They look at us like we're crazy when we put the nailer down in front of them, but then they grab it, and then it's really funny to kind of watch the transformation because they're timid on day one, first nail, and then they're like boom, 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 and they really go to town. So it's really kind of fun to see that confidence emerge, and even those people that I have friends that they call themselves craft challenged. So even if it's not your strength, if you say, I can't do this, I promise you when you leave here, you're going to leave here saying, I did this, and I did it by myself. So it's a really great opportunity to go outside of the norm and create something from scratch. And then you leave here within 2.5 hours with a custom piece of decor for either yourself or for a gift. It's great.
So basically what you have here are separate pieces.
Correct. So you're starting with individual pieces of wood. They're still rough. So the first thing we have everyone do is distress their wood, which gets a little crazy in here when you hand 30 hammers out and chisels to everyone, and we give them about 10 minutes to go crazy. And you can kind of tell, have they had a good day or have they had a bad day?
Wow.
Because it gets,
this is good therapy.
It is good therapy. It gets exponentially wilder in here as the aggression comes out. So we give them lots of techniques to try, but you can just, you know, hammer it, you can drag it, you can use the chisels. So you have that choice. You can really moderate the amount of distressing that you want. Some people don't like a distressed piece, and that's okay too. So they go to town with their distressing, and then we walk them through sanding out all of those splintered edges and getting it back to a smooth piece of wood.
So we don't have to do it right now, but I want you to show me the difference between like the distressed and the not distressed.
Yes.
Is it harder to put stuff on here when it's distressed?
It's not harder to put it on here when it's distressed because you're ultimately working with the same surface. What the difference is when you add that stain or you add that paint, the distressing gives you a little bit more character. You're gonna get every little groove that you put into that wood, the stain soaks that up a little bit more. So it's gonna be a little bit darker in its nature. It just adds a lot of character to the piece. If you knock off the perfect edges of the wood piece and you have little grooves, it just looks like it's been here a little bit longer. So even though you're creating something new, it really kind of has a feel that it's been around for a while, which just is a lot of character, that shabby chic choices.
So, because you know, you see those things on Facebook where it's a Pinterest idea and then what it really looks like.
Yes.
So to me, as I'm thinking here, I'm thinking in my mind, this is what it would look like if I did it, but when I did it, it would look like.
Yeah, so the Pinterest fails are hilarious, but I promise you we aren't going to leave you out the door with a Pinterest fail.
You take the fail out of it,
We
really.
take the fail out of it. It's pretty fail-proof. For example, like I can just show you a quick one. So
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine, two friends actually, that they are my self-professed craft challenge friends, and they came in. I said, come make a model with me. Come, I'm going to walk you through the process. They're like, I can't do this. I'm like, you can do this. And they actually created this piece and this piece here, and they were phenomenal at it. They'd never done anything like
Wow.
it. They'd never touched a power tool. You would not know that was done by a first-time craftinista. And they were so proud. They sent them to their family, and their family responded back to me like, what did you do to them to get them to
Isn't that amazing?
to make this? I'm like, it's the process. We walk you through it. We, guide you as much attention as you need. We have a good staff ratio here that can really be hands-on with you and answer those questions. And a lot of people look at the examples and they want to make exactly what they see. And so we kind of help guide them. What colors are in your house? What accents do you have? What color are your floors? What vibe are you going for? And then we can help make color choices that are good for them, that are going to make them happy. And I tell everyone, it's fixable. There isn't anything you do here that if you get somewhat through the process that you don't love, okay, that's fine. Paint paints over paint. We can add another color to it and we can make it right. So don't worry about it.
How awesome is that?
Yeah.
So this would be a great gift for like somebody who's moving into a new house.
Absolutely. You know, we have a lot of people that make them for gifts. I've had several family members in here that their children just got married, and so they were doing them as gifts to decorate their new home for the holidays. They've done them for wedding presents. We've done them for baby showers, all kinds of things. But certainly for realtors, you know, for closing gifts, it's a great idea too, because you can. There's some that even have like the latitude and longitude on them, which is really cool for a new house.
Wow.
So just kind of a different, you know, thing, and then you know something that's more fun and whimsy. Save water, drink beer, and some people are putting their company logo on there and giving those out as gifts too, versus a family name. So you can really tailor it specifically to what your goal is. We'll make that happen.
You got a pillow here too, so
Yes.
not only is it wood, you can do like.
Yep. So we have canvas pillows, and then these signs here are canvas wall hangings as well.
Yeah.
So just different styles of mediums that you can do. This afternoon, since the kids are out, I decided to do a youth pillow class. So I've got about 8 girls that are coming in to make a custom monogram pillow. So it's really cute. They can pick their design. They've got their initials on there, which is super in right now. And even those guys, I have been blown away at the kids 8 to 11 that have just knocked it out of the park. And you would not believe the products that they walk out of here with, because they're geniuses. I think.
How cool is
so
that?
Creative, but it's totally doable. The canvas, is a little less forgiving sometimes than the wood, but it really creates a unique piece of decor. You know, you can just custom your colors in your house, and you have lots of choices. You don't have to go really thick. You can do it where it's a little bit splotchy, and I think that adds character to it. So I think it's just a really neat way to, change up a room very quickly by just throwing a few different pillows in there.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, don't change the channel because we're going to be coming back in just nanoseconds.
Just because you're in an accident but didn't ride in one of these doesn't mean that you didn't get injured.
Hello, I'm Dr. Tim Weir, and after 35 years in practice, I can tell you a lot of times an injury doesn't show up for 2 to 3 days after an accident. So if you've been in an accident, don't delay any further. Call my office today.
Raleigh Spine and Injury Chiropractic. Just when you thought nobody cared. Call 790-1332 right now.
Hey, we're back with Kasey Wright here at AR Workshop.
Yes.
So, here's the tools, and these are actual, it's not fake stuff. This is like solder and...
Yeah, it's legit. You've got your nailers, you have screwdrivers and drivers, your hanging wires, the hair dryers.
Yeah.
It's an important tool
Well, yeah.
in the process here for sure. Yep, so a little bit of, some power tools to kind of get you started in the process and kind of break the ground on that type of tool work. But yeah, it's a good little mix of things.
This is so cool. So, somebody can plan a party here.
Yes.
You can even go to the point where you take up the whole space if you got enough people.
Yeah, if you have enough people, like 20 and up is what we try to do on the weekend evenings. During the daytime, it can be less. We also just hosted a big team building event here for a property management group the other day, and they had about 13 of their property managers in-house learning some chalkboard and hand lettering techniques. So it's just a little bit more intimate of an environment, something different to kind of get creative juices flowing. So corporate events, team building, or just birthday parties, girls' night out, guys' night out, date night, all of the above are total options to bring in. So we can really make this format work for whatever you're trying to do.
So let's talk about you,
Okay.
because you haven't been doing this for a long time.
No, sir.
What did you do before?
So my degree is in occupational therapy, so I worked with children with disabilities for about 8 years, and then I switched gears and went into medical sales and did that for a DME company for several years,
Sure.
and then just recently was with a home health agency here in our area. Loved what I did, loved my company, loved my coworkers, but just have always had this passion, one, to own my own business,
Right.
2, I love to DIY. I love design, interiors, and all that stuff, and had just been looking over time for the right something to make the leap of faith with and go. And oddly enough, on Facebook, the parent company had made a post, and one of my friends here in Raleigh saw that post and made a comment on it And because she commented, it showed up on my Facebook wall. And she said, we need this in Raleigh. And I said, what do we need in Raleigh? So I looked at it and I was like, we do need this in Raleigh. This is awesome. And because I said that, Maureen Anders, who's one of the founders of the company, saw it and messaged me back and said, hey, we're actually, letting others open these workshops in different areas. If you're interested, really, let me know. So long story short, her and I started chatting. I took a day off work. I drove out to Pineville, walked in the door and went, I'm in. I love it. This is awesome. There's nothing like it. It's fun. It's just a really warm environment. And when I saw how custom you can really make everything, I just fell in love instantly. Texted my husband and said, babe, this is the most expensive project I've ever done, but I've got to do this.
Sure.
And that's how I got here. I settled on it, thought about it long and hard, made the decision to do it, quit my job. Took a month to turn my space around, and here we are a week later with our doors open.
Man.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy.
No, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's extremely exciting and extraordinarily terrifying. I have 3 children. My income counts at our household, but at the end of the day, life is too short. You have to love, love, love what you're doing and not just go to work for work, and really just find that passion that now I get up in the morning and on Monday I'm like, it's Monday. Okay, like I've got this.
That's so cool, isn't it?
You just gotta love what you do.
Exactly.
So I just pray that it works out and have fun in the process.
Well, I know it's going to work out.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I know it will. I have faith. It's been great so far. We've had a great first week.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's going to be fun. So if you're looking for a fun thing for you to do, or your friends to do, or your company to do, what an absolutely fabulous thing to do. Go online, check it out, call her up, make an appointment, and come and have some fun.
Yes, we'd love it. The website is arworkshop.com/Raleigh. You can see our calendar. Everything's up there. You register online ahead of time. You have questions or concerns, like you said, call me, email me. I'll reach right back out to you, and we'll get everything set, and we'd love to have you in.
You're awesome.
Thank you so much. We love it.
Stay right there. We got more coming your way.
Uptone Pictures is a full-service script-to-screen production company which can help you create the proper messaging for any number of applications, with spacious state-of-the-art studio offering green screen, mocap, and practical stages, along with a team of professionals who will make you and your business shine. So what are you waiting for? Call us at 919-649-3587 and schedule your appointment today. It's time we put your imagination into motion.
Hope you enjoyed this episode of Loving Life. Listen, success is all about doing what you love and living what you do. Join me on Facebook. Join me at my website, www.drtimweir.com. If you're interested in the book, come by the office. I'd love to see you. Until next time, keep loving life. Does this smile look too fake?
This is very natural.
He's going to share some incredible insights for success. We're also going to be joined with Kasey. Advertising for you. Put your name and everything on it.
What kind of thing would you like?
Say,